Is witchcraft political? This question isn't about division or casting moral judgment on one another, but rather to spark a conversation within our community. My name is Anya. I'm a spiritual blogger, witchy woman, and I talk about the subjects of yoga, magic, and witchcraft. I have my little notes here to keep me on track, but let's just get right into it. There are two schools of thought here. For starters, we have a very valid point, mind you. First of all, witchcraft isn't an actual religion and it's a spiritual path. It's a spiritual path. Wicca is the umbrella if we're talking about religions. That's not what we are, though. That's not what everyone is. I don't identify as Wiccan. Those who practice hoodoo, brujeria, they don't know what Wicca is and all the other spiritual paths. So here's the problem. We all kind of follow a moral compass, but there's also why are we blanketing people and then choosing for them what they need to do. Look, I just put, why are we putting things in a box? We are, one thing that we all agree with is if you tell yourself that I just can't get into politics, I'm not really a political person. I don't, not this, not that. Understanding how privileged you truly, truly are to say that, to not have any of these major crises moments that people are going through, to not have any skin in the game for any of that. And there are multiple things going on in this country. That is such a lucky statement, isn't it? One thing too we got to remember as witches, it is only very so slightly socially tolerable, if we're keeping it real, to have conversations about witchcraft. We are very lucky that we are not met with persecution. I mean, come on, I'm not going to say it, but the Salem witch trials, I mean, 100% though. Women in power, women who had too much land. And this isn't about like male versus female. This is just what it was. Educated women. I mean, we remember this kind of stuff, don't we? Some names to bring attention to. Lori Cabot. She is Salem's first witch, opened the metaphysical shop in Salem, the United States' first world metaphysical shop in Salem. And she basically protected witchcraft under the umbrella of Wicca. Wicca is a certified religion because of her. So huge shout out to Lori Cabot. I actually went to her shop in Salem. It was wonderful. And then we also have Selena Fox. She has also been in the activist community for a very long time. And she actually was able to get the pentacle engraved on veteran stones. That's what she's most known for among her activism. So these are just many women within our own community, just letting us be seen as a community if we're really keeping it real. And so, I don't know, just food for thought there. Moving on. We empower ourselves. But here's the thing, when you empower yourself to a certain point, you realize that you just have too much energy. And that energy, like any resource in life, is meant to flow, is meant to keep moving, right? You don't want stagnant energy. You don't want blocked root chakra. You want to feel connected to the world around you. And when you are hoarding energy, my point, that's also hoarding the wealth. And I hope you guys are kind of understanding. I know these are very big, broad statements I'm making. But I've kind of went on a tangent from my notes, if we're being completely honest. But yeah, it is important to a degree to be a political. For us to put them in a box, no, that is very important that we recognize that. But to be political, absolutely 100% yes. Yes, it is I deem it my social obligation. How about that? I don't care what you do. Everyone has the right to their own way of thinking, but I just consider myself incredibly lucky to not have to deal with what a lot of people in this country have had to deal with lately, losing families, losing homes. I mean, just so much hatred and vitriol in this world, and there's just so much going on. I read a news article this morning that was so bad. It truly, just the two sentences, and I'm not going to get into it, but I read the description and was just like, it was the most vile two sentences, brief, brief sentences that I've read, and that stuck with me all morning. Imagine the person that's happening to. Part of our witchcraft tradition, I would say, is having a heart. Having heart is a mover of energy, and being very sure we're connected to the heart, and that's compassion for people. And if you lose that compassion for people, how can you really call yourself a witch? You know? So, I have a really great blog post that talks a little bit more about the witchcraft versus the patriarchy movement, what that is, some more famous witches, some more resources on how you can just move your energy a little bit more to where you are able to just do your part, is really all we're asking. Whether you're correcting the wrongings of what somebody else has done. For example, I try, after, especially after hearing it from a woman's mouth, um, I absolutely make a point not to say I've been gypped. She's of Romani descent, and hearing it from her mouth, I've let it slip a few times because like it's something I'm like, does it matter? I'm like, no, it matters. I get it. It's okay. Done. Do better. Do better. That's part of our spiritual tradition too, don't you think? Isn't that what creates the energy that we have? Isn't that how we cultivate energy? Isn't that how we move energy? By doing better by ourselves, doing better by each other, the collective. That's how I get my energy. I don't get it from doing spells. I get it from the people, from community. And that's something no amount of money can buy. So keep that in mind. Yeah. So I don't know. The notes didn't really help, but they gave me some direction today. My name's Anya. I would love to know which side of this you stand on. Not that it's a side, but where's your opinion in all this? Because there are really no wrong answers, and they're welcome here. Thank you all for watching. If you like my content, don't forget to subscribe.